Hey, Niner gang, today in Santa Clara, the tension is real. Big decisions coming, a key piece still recovering, another name being tested, and a potential impact target flashing on the market right in front of the red and gold. The crazy part is how all of this hits the offense, the heart of the defense, and how the league views this locker room. Because every detail now can swing the entire season. Are you ready to handle what's really going on? You won't believe what we've got today. So sit down, smash that like button, and let's dive straight into it. And just when it felt like calm was finally coming back, we get the update that shakes the entire game plan. Brock Purdy remains questionable, and even as he progresses from that turf toe, he's not expected to start on Sunday. Kyle Shanahan was clear, the opening snap still belongs to Mac Jones. Sounds simple? Not even close. The ripple effect on this season, on the locker room, and on how this offense attacks the Rams at Levi's Stadium is massive. Especially with the NFC West tightening up fast and every divisional game carrying playoff weight. Quick rewind so nobody gets lost. Purdy has been dealing with this since week 1, tried to gut it out in week 4, aggravated it, and has been sidelined ever since. Against the Giants, he was among the inactives. Now, there's a shot he's active, but as a backup. Shanahan usually makes that final call after Saturday's check-in, which means suspense all week and a decision on the eve of a huge game. That uncertainty automatically throws the spotlight back on Mac, on his command, and on how comfortable this staff really is riding him in big-time moments. Strip it down to the numbers and the story gets real. In 7 starts, Mac has thrown for 1,832 yards, 10 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions, keeping this offense inside the league's top 10 in yards per game, even while the scheme adjusts on the fly. That doesn't happen by accident. It's timing, rhythm on early downs, quick decisions, working the middle, trusting the system. Part of the fan base is all in on the efficiency. Another chunk wants more deep shots, more aggression, something that feels like a franchise statement. That tension is exactly what turns every snap into a referendum. Tactically, the key against the Rams with Mac under center is protecting timing and structure. You lean into precision, heavy play action, layered routes, quick game, running backs and tight ends as outlet weapons, using motion to diagnose coverages and punish pressure. The upside, you keep the Rams' front honest, stay on schedule, and open lanes for the run game to take over late. The downside, small windows, no margin for hesitation. One late read becomes a turnover that flips everything. Inside the building, the message is simple. Sustain drives, avoid 3 and outs, steal points every time you cross midfield, and let the defense work with favorable field. On the outside, the faithful is already split between ride the hot hand and you don't sit a $265 million quarterback. And here's the real question hanging over the week. If Mac delivers another win and this team climbs to 7-3, how do you handle Purdy's return without cracking the chemistry this locker room is slowly rebuilding? You don't have to answer that right now, because honestly, that's not even the wildest part of today's story. You know those rare moments when the market quietly hands you a chance that fits your roster almost too well? That's exactly what just happened for the 49ers defensive front. A young, long, versatile lineman with real snaps inside and outside stuck in a muddy role elsewhere suddenly hits waivers. Low cost, no panic about the cap, real upside as a rotational piece in a room that needs juice between the guards. It's the kind of move that doesn't explode on social media on day 1, but shows up on film in December when games get nasty. We're talking about DeMarvin Leal, former 3rd-round pick, released by Pittsburgh, basically screaming for a fresh start in a system that knows exactly what to do with hybrid bodies. In San Francisco, there's no confusion. He'd come in with a defined mission. Think 3 tech and sub packages, 4-eye in certain fronts, 15 to 20 snaps of attacking the B gap with violence, disrupting throwing lanes with his length, and helping anchor the edge against wide zone. The philosophy under Robert Saleh and Chris Kocurek is ideal for this kind of profile. Attack, simplify, play fast, play mean. No overthinking, just put him in a gap and tell him to ruin timing. Why does this matter so much right now? Because this interior still lacks that consistent pocket-collapsing presence that forces quarterbacks to stay in the kill zone. You can win off the edge, but if the middle opens, good quarterbacks climb and survive. Leal's frame and versatility give you flexibility to run stunts, mug the A-gaps, threaten different looks without sacrificing gap integrity. It's not about selling him as a savior. It's about raising the floor of the rotation, keeping guys fresh, and making sure that when the pass rush needs 1 extra gear on 3rd and 7, you actually have it. The fan reaction would split fast. half calling him a project, half seeing the exact type of low-risk swing this front office has nailed before. Internally, the evaluation is cold. Can he hit defined benchmarks in pressure rate, win rate on passing downs and holding up early against the run? If yes, you've potentially found a contributor for this year and a developmental piece for 2026 without paying veteran premium. If not, you move on with almost no damage. And if that sounds like a smart, surgical answer to a real need, hold that thought, because the hottest talking point around this team right now isn't even the defensive line. It's something much bigger. Here's where things go from tense to flat-out explosive. While everyone is locked in on Purdy's recovery and max momentum, ESPN's Adam Schefter drops a scenario that hits like a bomb in the middle of Niner Gang's timeline. The possibility, not a report, but a real discussion point, of San Francisco exploring a future where Mac Jones is the guy in 2026 and Brock Purdy becomes a trade asset. The moment that idea leaves Schefter's mouth, every layer of this franchise feels it, because when someone with his credibility floats it, it's never just for clicks. There's a cold-blooded logic behind it. Mac is playing efficient, structure-friendly football in this system. Over 260 passing yards per game, positive efficiency, clutch drives, poise in late-game situations. On the other side, Purdy is the emotional anchor, the underdog turned franchise quarterback, the guy the team invested a 5-year, $265 million extension in. Moving off that, even as a theoretical option, is beyond controversial. It forces you to ask what kind of identity this front office wants. Stability around an established star, or flexibility built on maximizing windows and extracting value at the game's most expensive position. What Schefter's scenario really does is expose how thin the margin is. In a cap era where injuries have hammered this roster and premium money is tied up across the defense, the idea of flipping a high-value quarterback for picks and cap maneuverability is the kind of chess move some executives at least talk about behind closed doors. And if Mac keeps delivering while Purdy fights through a nagging injury, those conversations get louder, whether the team admits it publicly or not. The history in San Francisco doesn't calm anyone down either. Alex Smith to Kaepernick, Jimmy G to Trey Lance, Lance to Purdy. This fan base has lived this movie before. Right now, the faithful is already going to war in the comments, ride the hot hand. You don't bail on your franchise quarterback. Jones is thriving because of the system. Purdy earned that contract. Local media splits between calling it pure speculation and seeing it as an early test balloon. Shanahan and John Lynch, officially, they'll say there is no controversy, but everybody feels how fragile that line really is. One bad game, one big win, one setback in Purdy's recovery. That's all it takes to tilt the narrative. And as if that wasn't enough drama, there's a defensive rumor out there that shows exactly how aggressive this front office might be willing to get. Just when it looked like the deadline silence meant the 49ers were content to roll with what they had, another storyline refuses to die. Bradley Chubb is a potential offseason target for this defense. It's not a done deal, it's not breaking news, but it's a serious, logical rumor for a team desperate to reload its pass rush without overpaying for uncertainty. Coming off a major knee injury and working his way back, Chubb isn't the unstoppable force he once projected to be, but he's still a tough, smart three-down edge who wins with technique, power, and effort, and his contract structure after 2025 makes him movable for the right price. From a football standpoint, the fit is obvious. Drop Chubb into this front alongside emerging pieces like Keion White, and once Michael Williams is fully healthy again, you suddenly give Robert Saleh the freedom to get creative. You can kick Williams inside on passing downs, mix fronts, disguise pressures, and stop living on the edge of the roster every time someone gets nicked up. Instead of begging for someone to win a one-on-one late in the fourth quarter, you'd have a veteran who has seen every protection look and still finds ways to hit quarterbacks. And with no guaranteed money left after a certain point, any team that trades for him can restructure the deal on arrival, fitting him into a contender's cap without handcuffing the future. Strategically, linking Chubb to San Francisco sends a message, even as a hypothetical. This franchise has zero interest in punting on its competitive window. Even after injuries, even with all the noise at quarterback, the standard is still contending. That's the energy the locker room feels. For the fan base, it's gasoline on the fire. Some see it as the missing piece, others worry about age and durability, others just want proof that the front office will stay aggressive. No matter the angle, it reinforces one thing. The 49ers are expected to act like a heavyweight, not a rebuilding project. When you stack all of this together, in the quarterback uncertainty, the possibility of a smart low-risk move like Leal, the nuclear-level debate sparked by Schefter and the Chubb speculation, you see exactly what defines this team right now, living on the line between chaos and greatness. No other franchise operates this close to the edge, this often, with expectations this high. Every decision feels bigger, every rumor feels heavier, and the faithful rides every second of it. The truth tonight is simple: the season is still alive, the window is still open, and the next moves from Shanahan, Lynch, and Saleh will say everything about who the 49ers want to be. So tell me, who should lead this offense into the future, and how aggressive should this team be in rebuilding its pass rush? Drop your take in the comments, hit that like, subscribe, share this with that one friend who's losing his mind over the QB drama, and stay locked in. This story is just getting started.